Meeting for Monday, February the 23rd, 2026. I'll call the meeting to order and ask for the roll call, please.
Councilmember Abdelgawad.
Here.
Councilmember Baker.
Present.
Councilmember Barber.
Present.
Councilmember Burke.
Present.
Councilmember Serko.
Present.
Councilmember Ingert.
Present.
Councilmember Holman.
Present.
Councilmember Mills, absent. Mayor Turnbow.
Here, we do have a quorum. Would you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I've been informed that Mr. Mills will be here shortly. He's coming from another meeting over in Independence, and hopefully we'll be here before we get too far into the agenda. We have no presentations or awards this evening, no personal appearances scheduled, so move on to staff reports. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to ask Mr. Murdoch to be doing the running of the meeting tonight.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Murdoch.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We'd ask Mr. Salisbury to make a staff report on behalf of Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. Just a couple things I want to highlight from my monthly report. We opened several bids in the last few weeks for some CIP projects that are going on, specifically the 58 highway from Westgate to Fox Ridge, street preservation, as well as the Dean Avenue curb. A couple of those will be coming to you in the future weeks, and one has already been here. We have 7 developments that are preparing for acceptance, so I guess I should say 7 different plats. As well as on our operations side, we responded to one snow event, and I am hopeful that that is the end of the snow event. So happy to answer any questions, and that concludes my staff report.
Thank you, sir. And we're hopeful too. Let the record reflect that Mr. Mills has joined us. Good evening, sir. All right. Anybody have any questions of Mr. Salisbury? Hearing none. Mr. Murdoch.
Thank you, sir. We'd ask Mr. Mustine to make a report on behalf of Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, sir. Mayor, members of the council, I've submitted a written report, a couple things to highlight. Always an exciting time when I can announce for you, sir, that the ice rink has been shut down. Spring is coming. It was a tough season of weather. We were up and down, and I think we were shut down due to warm weather more than we were open due to cold weather this winter. So just how it plays out. But the rink is closed down, and we're taking picnic shelters and getting ready for summer, which the next thing is soccer signups. So we're wrapping those up. We're putting our teams together, getting ready for soccer games to start in a few weeks. Practices start next week. And baseball signups, softball signups are going on right now as well. And then a busy week this week. Well, we also have our spring craft show coming up on March 7th, just a couple weeks at the rack. Always a great time, and as always, we're booked almost to capacity and ready to have a great event there at the rack. This week, got a busy week. First of all, I want to congratulate Mr. Wilson back here, one of my park board members. He's our newly elected vice chair of the park board this year, so we're going to throw him in the fire and give him a little training on how it works, and have a park board meeting tomorrow night with the work session. And then immediately following that, I drive to Columbia for our Missouri State Parks and Rec Conference. And my park superintendent, Rulo, one of our maintenance guys, Cody York, and our athletic coordinator, Nick Cook, will be leaving first thing in the morning to go for that conference for the week. So I'll wrap up park board tomorrow night and go get ready to go Wednesday morning.
There you go.
And that concludes my staff report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Mustine? All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Murdoch.
Thank you, Mr. Mustine. I would ask Ms. Harmer to make a report on behalf of the Communications Department.
Thank you, and good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I did submit a written report in the agenda on communications for the month. I also this evening just wanted to share that we have officially launched our panel building section of our new resident survey program. So that was Friday, and over the weekend we had 86 signups, which is great for a weekend. It's when I don't want to check my email, but so this is a flash vote, and it does provide scientific data and representative input because of 3 things. a large number of responses, so we will build that panel. We can build it indefinitely. We want to obviously get a few hundred users, but we could have everybody in the city if we wanted to, if we could get that far. The second thing is that group response is not self-selected to the topic, so we're having people join because they want to give their opinions on everything that we have to ask about in the city, and it's not just because they're really passionate about one thing or another, one way or another. And then also unbiased data collection, the quality control with the way that the questions are crafted and the answers participants can choose from. So those are the three things that make this scientific data. And anyone who does sign up when we put out our surveys, they will get those same results within 48 hours of the survey closing. And then it's 5 questions in a survey. One takes about 1 minute to do. Our residents that sign up can choose whether they do this by phone, text, or email. They can choose how they get the surveys. And then it's really just once every couple of months, so maybe 4 to 6 times a year. And we can also track the same things that we've been tracking through our ETC survey that we were doing once every other year, but just in shorter little bits so that we can still get the same information. So right now, the information is on our website. We pushed it on social media and some email lists as well on Friday. We'll continue to put this out through all of our channels, print and online and digital. And right now, if anyone wants to go sign up, flashvote.com/RaymoreMo, or you can just go to our raymore.com website and type in flashvote, or it's the top news story pinned to the top. And I also have some materials being professionally printed right now, but in the meantime, we do have some postcards out on our front desk here in the lobby with a QR code, so anyone that's here this evening that hasn't signed up yet can just go scan that and sign up. And that concludes my report this evening.
Excellent, Melissa. Anybody have any questions? Ms. Abdelgoan?
Thank you, sir. So thinking about this since our work session, I know one of the ways that we've heard from people who don't normally get our communications, we've said, well, if you aren't getting our information, how can we get it to you? And I know we've done some yard signs for things. Do you think a yard sign kind of
We can
thing might work?
certainly, we can look into that, yes.
Just trying
Yep.
to think of ways to get it in front
Sure,
of people
sure.
who might not be getting our stuff already.
Absolutely. And I am planning on, connecting with HOAs and a lot of different community groups and things too to help that get out as well. But yeah, we can look at that.
After
sure.
the election signs all go away, we could put some out.
Okay.
Thanks.
There you go. All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, thank you. Mr. Murdoch?
Thank you, Ms. Harmer. I would ask Ms. Hill to come forward to make a report for the city clerk's office.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. There are corrected minutes that have been placed at each of your seats for the February 9th meeting. The corrections were made to the adjournment vote blocks and the time of adjournment. Should there be no additional corrections, the minutes can be considered with the consent agenda as usual. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of the clerk? Okay, thank you. Mr. Murdoch, anything else?
Yeah, just one quick thing here. The city council, we will have a work session next Monday night. Currently, there is one topic on the agenda. Mr. Mustine, myself, and Mr. Fearborn will be giving you more detailed plans for the 250th celebration as staff has been working through all of those particular plans. We'll also then highlight some of the things associated that we'll do during that same time period for the World Cup to hopefully give you guys a better look at what's going to be going on here in a little over 100 days. And then we also will have a few mayoral recommendations for appointments to boards and commissions that we'll also have for the work session. That concludes staff reports for tonight, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions of Mr. Murdoch? Okay, thank you. So before us now, we have the consent agenda as been reported by the city clerk. We've replaced the minutes of the February 9th meeting from the ones that were originally part of your packet with a few fixes on that as highlighted. I think we have 4 items on the consent agenda this evening. I'd entertain a motion to accept all or dispose of any of those for a later vote, but I'll ask for the motion. at this time?
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented tonight, including item A, City Council meeting minutes for February 9th, 2026. Item B, approval of the Safety Traffic Enforcement Program. Item C, Missouri Blue Shield Grant Program. And item D, acceptance of public infrastructure for Sendera First Plat.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to accept the consent agenda with all 4 items under the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Mr. Barber.
Yeah, I was absent for the meeting, but I did review the recorded meeting and also the minutes, so I am going to be voting for the...
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyone else? If there are none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to unfinished business. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4013 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4013 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, denying the appeal of 7 Brew Coffee and upholding the Planning and Zoning Commission's denial of planning, case number 25017 pursuant to Section 470160G2 of the Unified Development Code.
Thank you, ma'am. And for further clarification, Mr. Zur, could you again remind us what the votes are approving or disapproving?
Happy to do so, Your Honor. Based upon the crafting of this particular item before you this evening, a vote of aye or approval is actually a denial of the appeal from 7 Brews. So a vote for aye is a denial, and to vote nay would be to reject the position and allow 7 Brew and their application.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have any questions, Mr. Zur, at this time? If not, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve Bill 4013, appeal of the denial of the appeal of the site plan application for 7 Brew Coffee.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve Bill 4013. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Opposed? Motion carries 6-2. Would either dissenter wish to explain the position? We've kind of neglected to do that here of late, as is our... Yep. Okay, nothing further? All right. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4012 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4012 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Phoenix Concrete LLC for the Dean Avenue curb replacement Phase 1, city project number 26-495-201 in the amount of $324,253.80, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within the established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve Bill 4012, award of contract for Dean Avenue curb replacement Phase 1.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Your Honor, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4012. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4014 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4014 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving and authorizing a contract with Wilson and Company in the amount of $18,200 to provide engineering design services for electrical system upgrades at the Recreation Park Baseball Complex.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve Bill 4014, award of contract for Recreation Park baseball light plans.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Your Honor, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4014. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 4015 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 4015 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving and authorizing a contract with SB Wyatt Contracting Incorporated in the total amount of $34,800 for the demolition and removal of structures located at 204 South Adams Street and 317 North Jackson Street.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdel-Gawad?
I move that we approve Bill 4015, award of contract for the demolition of structures at 204 South Adams Street and 317 North Jackson Street.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 4015. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to new business. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 4016 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4016 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Terry Snelling Construction, Inc. for the 2026 curb replacement and ramp repair, City Project Number 26-493-201 and 26-493-202 in the amount of $771,298.50, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Murdock, is there a report?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'd ask Mr. Salisbury to make a report on this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Murdock. Mayor, members of the council, tonight before you is the 2026 curb replacement and ramp repair project. This will consist of approximately 18,000 feet of removal and replacement of curb, as well as ADA ramps on those roads that we'll be working on. Terry Snelling's done this project for 10 or more years now, and he's been great to work with. We did receive 4 other bids. Terry Snelling Construction was determined to be the lowest and best bidder, and staff recommends award of the project to him in the amount of $771,298.50. That concludes my staff report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Salisbury. Any questions of Mr. Salisbury? If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdel-Gawad?
I move that we approve Bill 4016, the 2026 curb replacement and ramp repair.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Yes, sir, I will second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 4016. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 4017 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4017 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, amending the fiscal year 2026 operating budget.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report, Mr. Murdock?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Williams will make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you this evening is Bill 4017, a budget amendment for the fiscal year 2026 operating budget. The police department was awarded a Blue Shield grant from the state of Missouri for the purchase of equipment, training, and/or technology. It is necessary to amend the police grant revenue in the general fund budget for $50,000, as well as the operating expense in the general fund police department associated with the grant funding for $50,000. The Centerview Building HVAC unit required repairs in the amount of $5,300. A budget amendment is needed to the Park Fund operating expenses for Centerview in the amount of $5,300. That concludes staff report.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions of Ms. Williams? There are no further questions. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdel-Gawad?
I move that we approve Bill 4017, budget amendment for the fiscal year 2026 operating adjustments.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 4017. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. And then could I have a reading of Resolution 26-10 by title only?
The reading of Resolution 26-10 by title only. A resolution of the City of Raymore, Missouri, vacating a portion of a utility easement located on Lot 232 in Edgewater at Creekmore 8th Plat, a subdivision in the City of Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
Thank you. Is there a staff report, Mr. Murdock?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd ask Mr. Gress to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, sir. Mayor and council, the request before you this evening is a partial easement vacation on behalf of the builder of this home, Randy Bryant, Bryant Ratliff Builders. A little bit of the history on this property. The Edgewater at Creekmore 8th Plat, which is the subject property, Lot 232, was approved by the council in 2023. In December of 2024, the city issued a building permit for the home that is recently completed construction. During our final inspection, it was determined that the home encroached into a platted easement by a little over a foot. And so in our review, we found it appropriate to vacate approximately 2.5 feet of that easement, bringing it down to 5 feet. That offset accounts for the roof overhang, it's basically the appurtenance of the structure, to bring it into compliance with the code and out of the platted easement. City staff did coordinate the request with all the utility companies that may or may not have facilities along that portion of the property. All the utilities are in the front yard along the street, and therefore there were no objections that were received by the utility companies. And so staff is recommending approval of the requested vacation so that the builder can move forward with finaling their property and getting the home sold to a resident here in the city. Happy to answer any questions. That concludes staff report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gress. Any questions, Mr. Gress? Yes, Mr. Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know if this is for Mr. Gress or for council, but what if this was not an easement? What if it was the neighbor's property line and they built into the neighbor's property line? What would, I know that's not what we're looking at here, but is that mentioned in the, I mean,
So
is
I-
that addressed in the code?
I can explain that because it actually, that didn't happen in this situation, but that was a particular remedy that the two owners explored. They were looking at basically adjusting the lot line between these two properties to move the lot line over. And so that would have involved a replat, which would have come before staff to review. And then privately, they would have to write up a quitclaim deed and go record that with the county to basically exchange the portion of property that they were looking at. It was elected to go down this path because of the minor encroachment that was there, but that is an option that we've entertained in the past as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you. If there's no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve Resolution 2610, partial easement vacation for 605 Hampstead Drive.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve Resolution 26-10. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 4018 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4018 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the Raymore Commerce Center South Second Final Plat and subdivision of land in Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report, Mr. Murdock?
Yes, sir. I'd ask Mr. Gress to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, sir. Mayor and council, this request before you is a final plat request for Lot 2 of the Raymore Commerce Center South development. It's directly adjacent to Lot 1, which was just recently approved by the council. It includes one platted lot and one common area tract on the property, and supports the construction of building number 4, which is currently under construction on the site. The PUD zoning and the preliminary development plan for this project were approved on July 25th of 2022, and as I mentioned, most recently on November 10th of 2025, the council approved the final plat for lot number 1. There's one oddity about this request that wouldn't typically pop up, which is the extension of an off-site sidewalk. As the council may recall, Van Trust extended Dean Avenue and 195th Street further south. There's a segment in there along the intersection of 195th, which was in the city's right-of-way and off-site from this property. Because of the timing of the construction and the sidewalk, staff felt it more appropriate to come back and build that entire segment at once, as opposed to building it in 2 separate segments. So is one condition in here that be constructed as an off-site improvement. Outside of that, the Planning and Zoning Commission did review the request at their February 17th meeting and voted 6-0 to recommend approval to you all. And that will conclude my staff report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Is there any questions of Mr. Gress on this particular item? Yes, Mr. Baker.
Not so much on, well, have we, or probably not able to disclose yet, but is there interest in this warehouse as far as, I mean, I went out there yesterday and you've got walls up on partially one side, but I'd imagine the finish is pretty quick. Has there been interest on a tenant for this building?
Not at this point that staff has reviewed or provided any information for. I know Mike Uhrig with Van Trust is here this evening, if he's able and willing to speak about whatever interest they're doing to market the building at this point.
Okay. Did you have any questions of the applicant? Okay. Any further questions? Hearing none? Oh, we don't have a motion yet, do we?
Nope.
So I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Belgawad.
I move that we approve Bill 4018, the Raymore Commerce Center South Final Plat for Lot 2.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ullman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 4018. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. And could I please have the first reading of Bill 4019 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 4019 by title only. An ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the final plat for the Creekside Ranch subdivision located in the southwest and southeast quarter of Section 2, Township 46 North, Range 32 West, Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll just keep it rolling with Mr. Gress here on this agenda item.
All right.
Thank you again, sir. The request before the council this evening with this case is another final plat request for the Creekside Ranch subdivision. It is a 19-lot acreage subdivision out off the intersection of Gore and Kurzweil. The property is zoned RE, which is rural estate, a minimum of 3 acres within that zoning district, and is surrounded entirely by unincorporated Cass County, predominantly with other rural estate and rural residential properties in the city adjacent to it. The preliminary plat and the rezoning and the annexation for this project were originally approved by the council in February of 2024. Most recently, the applicant did get a minor plat of the portion of the property approved for approximately 20 acres. That was approved in April of 2025. And then the last application that they have for the project is this final plat, which creates the 19 buildable lots that the applicant intends to move forward with upon the acceptance of their infrastructure. The Planning and Zoning Commission did review this request also at their February 17th meeting and also voted 6-0 to send their request to the council with a recommendation of approval. I'm happy to answer any questions, and that would conclude my report.
Thank you, Mr. Gress. Are there any questions of Mr. Gress on this item? If there's no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad.
I move that we approve Bill 4019, Creekside Ranch Final Plat, Lots 2 through 20.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ullman. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 4019. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to public comments. If anyone from the public would care to address the council at this time, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Seeing nobody coming forward, so I will close the public comments at this time. Move on to Mayor Council communication. And Mr. Barber, I'll start with you this evening, sir.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. I don't have much. I just wanted to, again, thank Mr. Wilson for his continued volunteering work for the city and adding some more workload to it, too. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Circo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have much to say, but, you know, I went out a few weeks ago and finally broke down and bought me a nice snowblower. And I got through one snow, and now my wife's looking at me, and I said, it's going to snow a few more times. And so I know nobody wants snow, and I'm not a snow guy, but, man, I've got to show my wife that snowboard is worth me purchasing. So, let's root for a couple times of snow at least. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Baker.
I'd like to thank Mr. Circo for buying a snowblower. Typically, when you buy snowblowers, you don't get snow afterwards, so maybe that.
Maybe I've saved everybody.
We'll put Mr. Trent out of business here for snow plowing this year. I just want to say thank you to Mr. Wilson for your involvement, and congratulations on your new role with the Park Board. Wish you best of luck on that, and I'm sure you'll do great with that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mills?
I'll echo the congratulations and thank you to Mr. Wilson, but I also would like to just mention, my condolences for the sheriff's deputy down in Christian County or whatever that was killed on a traffic stop. And we've got to remember, our law enforcement officers, every single time they pull over a car, there's a risk there. And people want to be critical because, they don't come up all jovial or they come up with their hand on their, hip just in case and to be ready, and people criticize them for that. But I think this is an excellent example that our law enforcement officers, they may have hundreds of traffic stops, but it only takes one to go the wrong way. So I want to thank our officers. I want them to know that as far as I'm concerned on the council, I stand behind them and I stand behind what they need to do to protect themselves in situations. So thank you to our Raymore police officers, our Cass County, all of our officers that put their life on the line every time they go to stop a vehicle.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Burke?
Thank you. I just wanted to thank everybody for giving me last Monday off. It was my birthday, but unfortunately I didn't feel good, so we didn't do anything special. So it would have been better to come to the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Holman?
Thank you, sir. I'd just like to extend my appreciation to Mr. Wilson for not only serving, but for serving as an officer on the board as well. Our city relies on such people across the spectrum of boards and commissions to keep things running, and so it's much appreciated. That's all I have, sir.
I agree. Mr. Engert?
First, I want a little clarification. I'm not against ice skating. There's kind of a standing joke running between Mr. Mustine and myself that I get excited when he says the skating rink's closing because that means winter's over, and I am not a winter fan. Second then, Mr. Wilson, congratulations. Looking forward to the new position and anxious to see you do there. Well, thank you very much. And then finally, for our communications director, I really like the process for the city survey this year. And I'm real anxious to see what kind of results we get as for all that hard work and effort that they put into it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Delaware?
Thank you, sir. I'll just take a minute to echo the comments of appreciation. Thank you for what you do for this city. And as Mr. Holman said, we couldn't do what we do without all of our volunteers. So important positions that people hold. I think that's all I've got.
Okay. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you, Mike, for your willingness to continue to serve on the park board. It does take a lot of volunteers within our community to keep things going, and we really do appreciate all of them. And thank you for your efforts as well, sir. I also want to thank the Chamber of Commerce. Today they had a Topgolf golf event. It was really kind of fun. They had, I think they had about 30 people signed up for the event, 3-person team, so there were about 10 teams there. It was really a lot of fun. Just a excellent event that we hope will grow in the future. If you haven't done it before, you don't have to be a golfer to do it. It really is, though, a lot of fun, and score points. And then we played Angry Birds. So if you hit a specific spot with your golf ball, it knocked down the birds on the scoreboard. It was kind of fun. Anyway, it was a well attended and a great organized event. And then on a sad note, Nancy Lukens, one of our longtime dispatchers and dispatch supervisor, passed away on the 20th of this month in her home. Nancy retired several years ago from the police department, was a beloved member of the Raymore Police Department, as well as the Cass County Sheriff's Department. And years ago had actually been an applicant for a dispatcher when I was the police chief at Raytown. So Nancy and I go a long way back, and She decided to go to Cass County at that point rather than join Raytown PD, but she spent most of her career right here in Cass County and with Raymore, and it was a sad bit of news when we heard about that. And as you know, her son Matt worked for us in the IT division as well, and a good friend and neighbor, still living in the home there. But rest in peace, Nancy. You will be missed. And I guess that's all I have this evening. So we were going to go into executive session, and I think you've heard why we probably aren't. Mr. Fearborn is a little under the weather this evening, was going to provide an in-depth report to us this evening, and so we're going to forego that till next week. Hopefully he gets back firmly on his feet and can converse a little easier with us than he is this evening. So I don't think we have any reason to go into executive session. Mr. Zerd, did I miss anything on that, sir? Good to go? All right, sir. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Abdelgawad.
I move that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Yes, sir, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. All those in favor of adjournment?